Well, if you guys are big fans of the Japanese wrestling scene, you guys are always in the right channel. So today we're going to be reviewing, of course, All Japan Pro Wrestling with their latest tour, the Excite Series 2027 that began in Okinawa early this month. So it does feature, of course, plenty matches, but the main event features the All Japan Pro Wrestling World Tag Team belts on the line. And then we move on with our last and final review, ChocoPro, of course, with their latest show number 501, of course, that took place. Well, we had a lot of fun, interesting matches, but there is an exhibition match because they mentioned in the last big show by General Manager Kizuki that there is a new trainee named Rin who'll be making her debut soon. So she'll be making, of course, her exhibition match debut with Emi Sakura, and I will go through everything on that match and plenty others as well. And then, of course, we move on with our last and final thing, of course, to wrap up this episode is some news updates. They give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Lead It Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Lead It Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also from Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information is unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Nike Sayaka watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us and click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough of the jibber jabbers. Let's get started. So, let's begin with All Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, All Japan Pro Wrestling. The Excite series that happened recently on February 1st, which is day one, and it began in Okinawa, of course. Now, for those who are not familiarized with this promotion, I'll give you guys a brief update because I think some of you are saying, is All Japan and New Japan kind of related? Well, they kind of do due to their founders. Let me give you a short. The founder of New Japan is Antonio Inoki. The founder of All Japan is Shohei Giant Baba. They actually were part of the same promotion in their early years called JWP, which of course disbanded. But these two guys wanted to start their own company together, but they couldn't decide of what they did do. So Anoki decided to start New Japan, which dubbed the style known as shoot style, of course, or the shoot style, and of course Giant Baba with, of course, King's Road. So that's the whole thing. In case anybody asks if you're new to the channel. Now, Our first match, we have Shota Kofuji. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before. It's been a while since I actually reviewed an All Japan show. But, however, his opponent is someone who I am familiarized with, Seiki Yoshioka. For those who may not remember him, he was in Noah. He was part of the Junior Noahs, and he actually appeared in Glee as well. But however, it was a pretty good match. Not gonna lie. I mean, I feel like this guy Kofuji is in fact a young boy. Basically, he's still, of course, on the learning curve, but eventually he did lost to Yoshioka with a driver, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, adios. Next up, we have a three-way match. We have Aizawa number one versus Musashi versus Cyrus. So basically, the bigger threat here in this match is Cyrus. Obviously, for those who don't never seen him, Cyrus is a big dude, uh, kind of like Vader size. In case anybody would ask me that question, but yes, he's like the size of Vader, but he's the much bigger threat. And of course, we would have assumed that he would have pancaked the other opponents. Well, he actually gave both of them a Vader bomb at the same time, and just like that, he pinned both. 1, 2, 3. That's it. It's over, folks. Cyrus won. Next up, we have Rising Hayato and Ryuki Honda teaming up. They take on the faction known as Havoc, consistent of Shotaro Ashino and, of course, Go Shiozaki. For those who remember him, Go Shiozaki was one of Misawa's proteges and, of course, a well known figure in Noah, who, of course, eventually switched to All Japan. So that kind of sets it up right there. And I was a bit surprised when I heard he joined Havoc. But yes, but it was a pretty good match, not gonna lie. But the one thing that was interesting is Rising Hayato. I would never imagine him being in this type of match because he's a bit of a junior heavyweight. I'm not sure if he's now making the jump to heavyweight. But if he is, I'm good. I'm happy for him. But however, you're facing against a team that has been in that receiving end of being the strongest. But unfortunately, Hayato learned the hard lesson when he faced a guy like Go Shiozaki when he gave him a big lariat. And just like that, 1, 2, 3. Good night, Irene. Next up, we have Shiza Mask. I'm going to presume this guy is a local from Okinawa. He takes on Atsuki Oyagi. It was a fun match, but there was a bit of a botch on this one when I saw it. Now, you guys have seen a Hurricanrana, right? Well, basically you jump on the opponent's legs, head, and you try to swing on one side, and they switch. Well, that's what happened, and what later happened is um, Shiza's mask came off, and of course, they couldn't just stop it. They just continued, and just like that, Aoyagi actually picked up the win with the pinfall. They probably wanted to get it over with like that, and people were very much booing that they thought it was intentional. I mean, I don't know how that mask came off or whatever, but it just did. So it was very botched about that. I mean, it was a botch moment in case anybody asks. Our next match, we have a six-man tag match. We have Kento Miyahara, Dan Tamura, and Hideki Suzuki taking on Ryu Aino, Yuna Azari, and Jun Saito. So yes, a pretty good match. I'm not gonna lie, very hard hitting. I mean, these guys are all heavy hitters, and they in fact know exactly what they're gonna do. But in the end, it was Miyahara with a German suplex onto Aino, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. That's boom. That's all she wrote. But anyway, we did see a post-match promo from Miyahara. I don't know what he said, but he got the fans behind him, so that's pretty good. Now our main event is for the All Japan World Tag Team belts. We have, of course, team number one, the challengers, representing Hakudo Gun, consistent of Kuma Arisha. Oh, yep, and of course the leader, named after him, Akudo Omori. So they take on the, what's it called? The Titans of Calamity, consistent of Ren Ayabe and Talos. Now these two guys, Ren Ayabe and Talos, these guys are taller people, tall as effing guys. They fit perfectly. They do look like titans, to be honest. But when you face guys like Akudo Gun, you have no idea what you're gonna get into. I mean, um, Kuma is a big dude. Not gonna lie. I mean, he would definitely size up to both Ayabe and Talos. But unfortunately, Ayabe picked up the win when he took out the leader of Akudo-gun, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. So it was a pretty good show. So we are expecting more from these guys, and I'll do my best to try to catch up with them because there has been a lot of times I have not been catching up with All Japan or Noah, but I'll do the best of my ability. So I'm not keeping my word, but I'll do my best. Okay, guys? So let's move on to our next review, which is our last one, ChocoPro. All right, so we got ChocoPro with their latest show, number 501. As you know, we are entering the 500s here. Now, this event happened on the 1st of February, just like what I did with All Japan. But however, this was not uploaded to their YouTube channel until just recently. Now, of course, we did have Emi Sakura opening up the show, giving the fans the greetings, giving the info of every match, and of course, explaining that there is a new trainee that will be making her exhibition match debut against her. And that's where we start out, you know. Now, keep in mind, this is not an exactly a real match. This one does have a very short time limit, in case anybody asks. The name of the trainee, his name is Rin. I'm going to presume either this girl could be still in junior high. She's wearing glasses, and I don't know how that's gonna work out. But of course, she was trained in the same dojo. Keep in mind the area where they normally have their shows. That's where they do their training sessions as well. Of course, general manager Kizuki did mention she is a coach in there. Make sure that even helps out with the girls too. I'm not sure about Emi Sakura because I know she travels. You know, not only that, she also I don't know if she still has a home here in the states. But yes, but the match was okay. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we know that Rin has a long way to go, even when she was facing someone with more experience than her. But of course, eventually the match ended with Emi Sakura with the pinfall, and just like that, obviously, when it comes to the new girls, they often lose to wrestlers who have better experience. But sometimes when they face wrestlers who are about almost the same um, experience as them, they either lose or end up time of the draw, or on rare occasions they win. But we'll see about that. Now, our first match we have Irikani taking on Tokiko Kirihara. Now, obviously, Irikani has not have the biggest win yet in singles competition. I mean, she has picked up wins in tag teams formats, but never in singles. But she's facing someone who has better experience in both, of course, striking and submission, and that's exactly what we've been watching her do. But I was impressed with Tokiko's technique. She tried like a sleeper hold, but in the reverse way. Instead of like grabbing them from behind, she was in front of them, like some sort of reverse type. I'm not sure exactly, and that kind of helped out, and the match ended just like that via submission, and very impressive. Next up, we have tag team action. We have Shen Ryan. I don't know much about him, but from my understanding, this guy is from the is from Singapore, but he normally wrestles with the group Dexcon. I have reviewed their shows in the past. He teams up with a guy based out of Chile named Jean Bravo. Don't know much about these guys, but it's great to see. I know that they have brought in wrestlers from Chile before. Amongst them was someone Montana like that. I think he was this mass wrestler who was really cool to enjoy the watch. But they're facing against a team that have been rivals and recently have been teaming up a lot. Balin Aki and Chris Brooks. Obviously, as you all know, they were rivals from the very beginning. Due to the fact that they have different styles and they had different tag partners. Chris Brooks has Masahiro Takanashi. Balin has Mei Shruga, that sort of thing. But it plays out pretty well. They seem like they're getting their footing as a tag team better than they ever were before. But it was a great combination where Balin Aki had what's name Bravo in a position where he got put he was tossed up and landed on Balin's knees, and then a bit of a back bent by, of course, Chris Brooks, and just like that, Balin Aki picked up the win by pinfall. 1, 2, 3. They picked up the win. Now our next match we have tag team match, and we have Kaho Hiromi and Hiroyi Yawada taking on Chika Shikawa and Mei Shruga. Now, obviously, we know that Kaho and Hiroyi have almost a similar experience, wrestling experience from each other, but different personalities. I mean, Kaho is like a miniature Mei Shruga. Hiroyi, she is getting her footing in and she's trying to do, but they're facing a team that has better experience. They have been rivals in the past, but even when the times occurs they have to team up, they have to team up regardless. Chiko Shikawa, one half of the Agent Dream Tag Team Champions with Hagen Ashino, she teams up with Mei Shruga, who has done it all in ChocoPro, and not to mention she is the Deadlock Pro Wrestling Women's World Champion. So you can tell how their experience is going to turn out, but in the end, it was Chi who picked up the win with her usual trap pinfall onto Hiroyi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now for Unjunkin tournament, I'm not sure how Shen, Ryan, and Jean Bravo would do, but I can tell you, the guys who are doing the Junkin tournament, uh, this is their first time. Well, let's just say they don't pass the first round, but I can tell you that this ends with. But however, somehow Jean Bravo was able to make it all the way to the finals, and he stood toe to toe against Aoki Kizuki. But however, he did not pass through because he just lost right there against Kizuki. I mean, Jean Bravo would have had his beginner's luck medal if there was such a thing. But to me, I like to say those who got their first win in the Junkin tournament, they get the beginner's luck medal, in my opinion. And he would have had that, but no, he did not. So he basically lost. But it was a good event. I'm not gonna lie. But I can't wait to see what Rinrid would do. We don't know when her big debut would be. We know she'll be doing more exhibitions and she'll be helping out in um in ChocoPro when the time needs. I'm sure she'll be training. But we'll see what happens. I think the next big show will happen possibly later on this month. I think towards the end. I'm not sure. But yes, I'll look into that a bit. But right now, let's end it here and move on to some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So let's begin with upcoming events, starting with GCW. As you know, we have two updates coming from them. As you know, they'll be in Hartford, Connecticut on the 29th of February for Ballin Blockin. They just announced the GCW Ultraviolet Championship will be on the line. Otis Koger will defend it against the man he defeated this belt from, Matt Tremont. And then, of course, on a month later, which is on the 7th of March in Columbus, Ohio, for So Alive, the Vando 48, consistent of Atticus Coger and Napier, will be teaming up to take on the Second Gear crew, consistent of Matthew Justice, and I forgot who else is going to be there, which is, I love the second crew because I love their interesting, which is Walk by Pantera. Now, as you all know, we have the upcoming event by Women's Pro Wrestling in the UK, Eve. They just announced another name added for Wrestle Queendom on the 8th of March. Our current IWGP Women's Champion and, of course, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion Shuri will be participating. So it's great to hear that. Now, Canadian promotion Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, as you know, they'll have the double two shows back to back, of course. The first one, which is Global Wars Canada, which they'll collaborate with Ring of Honor, that will happen on the 27th of March. And then the Uprising on the 28th of March. They just announced the current women's champion in their promotion, Giselle Shaw, will be participating. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if she puts the championships on the lines on both dates. That's something that definitely would be great. And then finally, as you know, we have the Kenta Kobashi one event a year show taking place, Fortune Dream, that will happen on the 16th of April in Corkin Hall. This match, definitely, I don't want to miss out because I don't know for my Unagi Sayaka fan base subscribers here, you don't want to miss this one either because it's Ikuto Hidaka will be teaming up with Izuki Aoki, and they take on the King, Murder Grandpa, Minoru Suzuki, and Unagi Sayaka. So that's right. They're going to be teaming up. And this is going to be interesting. I know that Minoru Suzuki has always tolerated Unagi's, cheerful behavior, her nonsense. I can't wait to see how their team up it's going to be. I'm like, can't wait. I'm excited. If I do review it, I might do another review of it in the Unagi Sayaka watch when I get a chance. But we'll see about that. But for now, let's keep moving forward. We've still got some developments here. Uh, this was a very interesting one that comes out from Kelly Kincaid. If you guys remember her, she was the backstage interviewer for NXT. Eventually, she went on her X account and just said that she's announcing that she'll be departing from WWE. It's still unclear what was the main reason, but that's from what we do. We know recently she did came back to NXT after she has given birth. It's still unclear what it is, the reasons why she's leaving all of a sudden. Hopefully, some things will come into light to let us know. And then finally, AEW Dynamite. Many of you know I don't the we don't talk about the reviews that much, but however, this one does. If you guys saw what happened on Wednesday, this Wednesday, they said that they had about 659,000 views with the demo rate of 0.15. You probably ask yourselves why did it went why is it different? Simple, because it was revealed that it went higher because of a specific moment in the last match. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Brody King versus MJF in the Eliminator match. If you guys did not see what happened um, before the match even started, you heard the fans were saying "F Ice." As you all know, Brody King is not a big fan of the ice, guys. He has a shirt that says "Abolish Ice," and people were chanting that all the time. And of course, MJF had that look in his face, like what, for real? And that's what's going on. So that's why it got a little higher. I mean, not the highest, but it got higher. If you know what I mean. Now, as you all know, recently the Inspiration left TNA once their contracts were up. Some people were presuming, of course, that they might be heading back to WWE. Now, Wrestling Observer has reported this, that there's been chatter that there have been talks with them with AEW. Now, of course, some of you think some WWE loyalists will probably say, "Nope, never gonna happen. It's never. They're WWE girls. They're gonna go." Yes, but you got to remember one thing. Recently, reports have been indicating that they're trying to make the women's division even stronger, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of them for obvious reasons. Why? I would think the reason they would definitely want to bring them in. They could be an additional for the women's tag team division. That is something we need to consider. So that is something that it should be in talks. Look, who cares if they were in WWE if there are any plans of them to going back? But they can make the women's tag team division even better because they have done both. I mean, imagine in the record, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, TNA Knockouts Champions, and then if they win the AEW Women's World Tag Team belts, that's Triple Crown right there for you guys. They will be known as the ones that held those belts. So that's what I would think. And then finally, of course, now as you probably know recently, not to make things political, but things have been after. As you all know, Bad Bunny has been a wrestling fan. He appeared in WWE recently, but however, due to some political things that have been going on, this one was brought upon by a U.S. senator named Ruben Galeo. He said this, that he has a Tony Khan. Now is the time to bring in Bad Bunny to AEW. Now, some of you probably ask yourselves, why would this guy go this flink to do that? Simple. Now, not like I said, I don't like to get political on this stuff, but just reviewing facts. Remember, Mick Foley left WWE because he felt that Triple H is buddies with Trump, and that's one of the main reasons. And we know Trump does not like Bad Bunny. So imagine if Trump told Triple H, I don't want Bad Bunny there. So imagine if he does go to AEW. I mean, it would definitely put AEW with more noise and people to pay attention. And that's the last thing I'm sure Triple H would do. I'm sure he does not want that to happen, but it is what it is. We don't know if Tony Khan will respond to that. But I'm sure some people would rather see that. Now, again, that being political, but it's just things how it has been hearing about. But what do you guys think? You think he should go there and have a little bit of fun over there? I mean, they did allow Snoop Dogg to jump off the turnbuckle. He never got the chance to do that in WWE. I mean, who else? What are things he would have done himself? Bad Bunny. But that's how it is. But as right now, I think it's time to call it a day. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Coming up, we do have AEW Collision. A lot of things are going to happen, but we also, as you know, have already begun. Has By the time this video will be out, it's going to be happening. We're talking about Stardom with their latest big show in Osaka, Supreme Fight. Now we do know that the red belt, the white belt, tag belts will be on the line, and certain matches will be happening. Hopefully, I do get a chance to watch that. If I do, good for me. So if I can't, shame on me. But that's pretty much it. So, but as always, the priority will be, of course, Collision. But we'll see what happens until then. But as of right now, I will say this: that I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.